Good day everyone. So today we're going to discuss about evaluating and assessing educational technologies, activities, and plans. So before that, we need to know first kung ano ang educational technology. Maghambak kita educational technology, it refers to digital tools, learning platforms, and interactive software nga nag-help to support learners. Kinahanglan din siya natin i-assess and i-evaluate to ensure that technologies are effective and makamit sa aton nga curriculum standards. So before we delve into our topic, we need to know first kung anong difference between evaluating and assessing. So maghambal kita evaluating, you are judging the effectiveness of instruction. Often, sa summative type na siya, so it means sa end na siya sa integration sa isa ka software or sa isa ka technology. Kung maghambal ka naman yung assessing, it is a ongoing process. So dali ka measure kung ano ang learning sa imong students, kag i-measure man ang performance sila kung effective bala ang imong integration sa amuna nga technology. The first one is measure effectiveness. So when we measure effectiveness, amo gina siya ang primary objectives to determine kung ang technology ba nag-improve sa learning. Then it involves comparing the students' performance before or after sa integration sa technology, and also it analyzes ang engagement data and reviewing academic outcomes. So, for example, you are a PE teacher, they use ka sa tracking apps, and then with that, kina-compare mo ang engagement sa students mo from week 1 to week 4, kung ang imo ba lang apps lang ginagamit, naka-help din mo bala sa learning sa aton nga students. Next is ang informed planning. So, ang results sa evaluation natin, maka-provide na sila sa valuable data for strategic planning sa school administrator. Whether bala i-expand nila, i-modify nila, i-support nila, or i-discontinue nila ang pag-integrate sa amo nga technology. So, it is really set. So, ang amo nga purpose sa evaluation, amo din ang dako nga influence sa aton nga nga change kumbaga sa system sa aton sa isa ka school. So the third purpose of evaluating and assessing sa aton nga mga education technology is para ma-identify naton ang gaps and challenges. Dari kung gina-evaluate natin at gina-assess, gina-reveal ta kung ano ang mga barriers nga na-encounter sa pag-integrate sa amuni nga mga educational technologies. Also, it can help that technology to become successful kasi syempre makover ikaw sa adjustment kag sa mga modifications para mas maging effective maged ang pag-integrate sa technology. Next is promote evidence-based practices. So, in this, wala ka talaga haon sa mga results sa imong mga students kung ano ka-effective ang imong pag-integrate sa educational technology. Kag ang amuni nga part, ang amuni nga purpose sa educational technologies is dako nga bulig sa refinement sa aton nga mga strategies, especially sa aton nga teachers and syempre sa schools administration man. And the last one is ensure alignment. So technology must align sa aton nga mga curriculum standards, learning objectives, kag students' needs. So, ang evaluation, naka-verify siya kung ang tools nga ini is ga-support gid man bala or sa mga competencies nga needs sa isa ka subject or wala. So, for example na lang, nag-use ikaw sa mga trackers, sa mga step-step na bala kung pila ka naka-step each day for cardiovascular endurance yung subject. And then, ang imo student, instead nga ma-focus, kita mo gali-add sa amo ng application, instead nga mag-focus sila sa application sa ilang cardiovascular, kaya mo na imo nga objectives, nag-focus sila sa application, instead na doing sila sa physical activity, nagantaw sila sa application sa cellphone nila, and nag-stop sila sa moving, so na-meet mong imo curriculum standards, di ba wala? So dapat, i-evaluate and i-assess mo ang isa ka education technology para mag-align siya sa curriculum standards and makamit siya kung ano ang needs sa imong students.
And now, let us proceed with the criteria and dimensions for evaluation. First is with the criteria for evaluation. So we have 6 criteria, which are content validity and accuracy, suitability and age appropriateness, technical quality and usability, instructional effectiveness, equity and accessibility, and last would be feedback and assessment. For validity, and accuracy. So content validity ensures that digital materials present information that is factual, current, research-based, and aligned with prescribed curriculum standards. Teachers are expected to critically examine whether ICT tools support intended learning outcomes rather than introduce misconceptions or outdated knowledge. Evaluation should consider alignment with subject standards and learning objectives, accuracy of data, definitions, and concepts, absence of cultural, gender, or ideological bias, and credibility of sources and authorship. A digitally attractive tool loses its instructional value if its content lacks integrity. Therefore, verifying academic reliability is foundational before classroom integration. Second is suitability and age appropriateness. ICT materials must match the learner's developmental stage, cognitive capacity, and prior knowledge. Teachers analyze whether language level, complexity of instructions are required digital skills that are appropriate for target learners. We should also consider reading level and conceptual difficulty, appropriateness of themes, visuals, and example. We also have to consider cultural sensitivity and, of course, the cognitive load wherein it avoids overwhelming students with excessive multimedia elements. A tool designed for learners may not be suitable for students due to differences in abstract thinking ability. Proper matching prevents frustration and promotes meaningful management. Third is technical quality and usability. Technical quality refers to the functionality, clarity, and design of ICT tools. Usability determines how easily both teachers and students can operate the tool without extensive technical difficulties. We also have to include the evaluation of clear interface and intuitive navigation, high-quality graphics, readable text, and synchronized audio-video, compatibility with available devices and operating systems, of course, with the minimal lag, bugs, or system crashes. And a tool that requires excessive troubleshooting disrupts instructional flow. We should have emphasis on placed seamless integration that supports rather than interrupts learning. Fourth is instructional effectiveness. Instructional effectiveness measures whether the technology enhances understanding and promotes active learning. It also encourages teachers to use ICT not merely for presentation, but for transformation of learning experiences. So the indicators of instructional effectiveness encourages inquiry, collaboration, and critical thinking. It provides opportunities for problem solving. It supports differentiated instruction and promotes learning autonomy. Technology should shift students from passive recipients of information to active constructors of knowledge. If learners only watch or listen without interaction, the instructional value is limited. Fifth is equity and accessibility. Equity ensures that all learners, regardless of socioeconomic status, ability level, or technological access, can benefit from the ICT materials. So the evaluation includes availability across devices, like for example, mobile-friendly or offline options, accessibility features such as subtitles, adjustable fonts, screen reader compatibility. Of course, you also have to consider adaptability to low bandwidth environments. And last is inclusivity for learners with disabilities. We should also highlight the importance of inclusive education, a highly sophisticated tool that not only a few students can access, it undermines equitability learning opportunities. Last but not the least is feedback and assessment. Effective educational technology provides mechanisms to monitor and assess student learning. It promotes formative and summative assessment integration with digital environments. Like for example, assessment features may include automated quizzes with instant feedback, also progress tracking dashboards, rubrics embedded in project tools, or like peer and self-assessment functions. So that is why timely feedback supports improvement and guide instructional adjustments. Without assessment capability, measuring impact becomes difficult. Next would be the dimensions of evaluation. So dimensions would include before instruction or planning and selection. Second is during instruction or the implementation. And after instruction, which is the summative. So evaluation is not a one-time process, but it spans the entire instructional cycle. First is before instruction or planning and selection phase. This dimension involves analyzing whether the educational technology tools aligns with number 1, learning objectives, number 2, student readiness, number 3, available infrastructures, and number 4, teaching strategies. At this stage, teachers act as an instructional designers or facilitators of learning, ensuring the selected technology supports curriculum needs and logistical realities. Poor planning often results in misalignment or technical barriers during instruction. Second would be during instruction or the implementation phase. In here, teachers observe how effectively the tool functions in real classroom conditions. Evaluation focuses on student engagement, participation, ease of use during actual learning, and level of interaction and collaboration, and immediate learning responses. Real-time observation helps determine whether the tool or the educational technology enhances understanding or creates distraction. Adjustments can be made immediately if issues arise. Last would be after instruction or the summative evaluation phase. After the lesson or project, teachers assess overall impact by examining achievement of learning outcomes, quality of student outputs, student feedback and reflections, efficiency of time and resource use. So this dimension evaluates whether ICT tool contributed meaningfully to academic performances and project objectives. Next would be the research-informed evaluation methods. So this would include authentic and performance-based assessment, technology-enhanced evaluation tools, frameworks for evaluating ICT integration, continuous feedback and reflection, and last would be the research-based evaluation approaches. Research-informed evaluation methods focus on integrating educational technologies with pedagogical principles to assess student learning, project success, and technology effectiveness. These methods prioritizes authentic, performance-based, and learner-centered approaches to over traditional testing. So here are the key research-informed evaluation methods for the educational technologies. First would be authentic and performance-based assessment. For the performance tasks and products, evaluation of student-created products like digital presentations, multimedia projects, or website that simulate real-world tasks, fostering higher-order thinking skills. For project-based learning, the evaluation focuses on the process and outcome of the projects, including project management, collaborative teamwork, and problem-solving abilities. For digital portfolios, it's used for tracking students' progress, self-reflection, and showcasing mastery of skills over time. Some technology-enhanced evaluation tools. For the digital rubrics, it's used to provide clear objective and consistent criteria for assessing complex tasks, which include peer and self-assessment. For collaborative tools and social media, the evaluation of contributions in wikis, forums, and shared documents to assess communication and teamwork. And for the open-ended tools, it utilizes software that allows for diverse, creative responses to demonstrate understanding. Third would be the framework for evaluating ICT integration. Like for example, we have SAMR model, or substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. It is a framework used to evaluate how technology is integrated, shifting from simply replacing tools to transforming tasks. Next would be TPAC framework, or Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge. It is a key model that helps teachers evaluate alignment of technology with pedagogical methods and content knowledge. Also, another example would be Assure model. It is a 6-step instructional design model that ensures proper selection utilization, and evaluation of technology-supported materials. Fifth would be the research-based evaluation approaches. For the mixed method approach, it combines qualitative and quantitative data to assess the impact of educational technologies on student learning, such as using quasi-experimental designs. For data-driven decision-making, it uses assessment data to inform and improve teaching strategies, ensuring they meet the needs of the learners. For user feedback, it gathers feedback from students and teachers regarding the usability and effectiveness of digital tools. So these methods ensures that educational technologies not only teach us technological skills, but also ensures that they are used effectively to enhance learning outcomes. Fifth would be the research-based evaluation approaches. For the mixed method approach, it combines qualitative and quantitative data to assess the impact of educational technologies on student learning, such as using quasi-experimental designs. For data-driven decision-making, it uses assessment data to inform and improve teaching strategies, ensuring they meet the needs of the learners. For user feedback, it gathers feedback from students and teachers regarding the usability and effectiveness of digital tools. So these methods ensures that educational technologies not only teach us technological skills, but also ensures that they are used effectively to enhance learning outcomes. Now, we have the steps in assessing educational technology plans, and these would include analyze learners and context, set clear goals and objectives, evaluate technology and material appropriateness, integrate technology into lesson plans, provide training and support, and implement and evaluate outcomes. Now, we have the steps in assessing educational technology plans, and these would include analyze learners and context, set clear goals and objectives, evaluate technology and material appropriateness, integrate technology into lesson plans, provide training and support, and implement and evaluate outcomes. Second is set clear goals and objectives. We have to define the learning goals that technology should support. We also have to ensure that goals are SMART, or specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. It is to ensure that plans aligns with the 21st century skills requirement of the K-12 curriculum or even the Matatag agenda. Third is evaluate technology and material appropriateness. We have to match the curriculum. We have to determine if the technology matches the learning standards. Also, we have to check the appropriateness. Verify if the tools are suitable for the learner's age, capacity, and subject matter. We also have to consider assessing reliability. It is to ensure that technology is functional, up-to-date, and easy to use. Fourth is integrate technology into lesson plans, like map to project. It is to develop detailed learning plans incorporating technology to facilitate meaningful learning. And designing activities. We create engaging activities like, for example, project-based or problem-based that uses educational technology for investigation, collaboration, or creation. Of course, we also have to ensure that there is proper utilization. We have to plan how technology will be used for presentation, demonstration, or student-led interaction. And fifth is to provide training and support. We have to assess if both teachers and students have the necessary skills to use the selected technology. Identify the need for tutorials, workshops, and troubleshooting guides. Sixth is to implement and evaluate outcomes. We have to implement the lesson by simply applying the technology-enhanced plan in a real or simulated classroom setting. It is to be formative and summative evaluation that uses various methods such as quizzes, projects, e-portfolios, and rubrics. Next is to reflect. Reflect on the effectiveness of the technology in achieving objectives and iterate for future improvement.
The ADDIE model is a tool teachers use to plan, design, and organize lesson in a clear and systematic way. It has been widely used for many years because it is effective in helping teachers create well-structured and meaningful learning experiences. Instead of teaching randomly, ADDIE serves as a step-by-step guide that ensures lessons are organized, purposeful, and easy for students to understand. ADDIE stands for A. Analysis, D. Design, D. Development, I. Implementation, and E. for Evaluation. During the analysis stage, the teacher identifies the learner's needs, abilities, and the learning objectives. This helps the teacher understands what students should learn and why. During the design stage, the teacher plans the lesson structure, activities, strategies, and assessment methods. This is where the lesson outline is created. In the development stage, the teacher prepares the learning materials such as worksheets, presentations, visual aids, or videos that will be used in the lesson. In the implementation stage, the teacher delivers the lesson in the classroom and facilitates the activities based on the plan. And finally, in the evaluation stage, the teacher assesses whether the lesson was effective by checking students' performance and reflecting on what worked well and what needs improvement. And overall, the ADDIE model helps teachers make lessons more organized, student-centered, and effective because it follows a logical process from planning up to the evaluation. So for example, in our MAPE or PE class, during the dance lesson, the topic would be, for example, is the basic folk dance step. And during the analysis stage, the teacher observes the students have little background in folk dance and need simple, engaging movement. And during the design, the teacher plans a lesson with warm-up, demonstration of steps, guided practice, and group performance. And during the development stage, the teacher prepares music, visual step charts, and demonstration video of the dance step. And during the implementation, the teacher teaches the step in class, demonstrates movements, and lets the student practice in group. During the evaluation, the teacher uses a performance rubric and observes if the students can follow the rhythm and execute the steps correctly. So this example shows how ADDIE model helps the teacher organize the lesson a step by step to ensure that the learning is clear, structured, and effective. So now, let's move on to the Technology Acceptance Model or the TAM model. It is a theory developed by Fred Davis in 1989. It explains how and why people decide to accept or reject a new technology. TAM helps us understand what influences a person's decision to use tools like learning management systems, mobile apps, online platforms, or educational software. TAM is based on the idea that before someone uses a technology, they first form beliefs about it. And these beliefs shape their attitude, intention, and actual behavior. Now, TAM has the key components. First is the perceived usefulness or the PU. This refers to how much a person believes that using a particular technology will improve their performance or productivity. Example, a teacher believes that using Google Classroom will make grading and communication faster. Next is perceived ease of use. This refers to how easy a person thinks the technology is to learn and use. Next, for example, is a student feels that a learning app is simple to navigate and does not require complicated instruction. Next we have the attitude toward using, or the ATU. This is the user's positive or negative feeling about using the technology. If someone thinks the system is useful and easy, they will likely have a positive attitude towards it. So another one is the behavioral intention, or the BI. This refers to the person's intention or plan to use the technology in the future. So for example, a teacher decides, I will use this app for my next lesson. Another one is the actual use, and this is the real use of the technology in practice. For example, the teacher actually integrates the app into classroom activities. Example in education, imagine a PE teacher introducing a fitness tracking app for students. If students think the app helps them monitor their progress, or what we call perceived usefulness, and they find it easy to use, which is the perceived ease of use, they will likely develop a positive attitude towards it, or what we call attitude toward using. Decide to keep using it is our behavioral intention, and eventually use it regularly during class, what we call actual use. So TPAC, or the Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge, it was developed by Punya Mishra and Matthew J. Coelher in 2006. TPAC is a framework that shows the types of knowledge teachers need to use technology effectively in teaching. It helps teachers blend technology, teaching method, and subject content so students can learn better. So there are core components of TPAC. The TPAC framework is built upon three main intersecting circles. First and foremost, we have the content knowledge, or the CK. The subject matter that teachers are responsible for teaching, such as math, science, or history. Another one is the pedagogical knowledge, or the PK. The method, it is the method, processes, and practices of teaching and learning, including classroom management and assessment. Another one is technological knowledge, or the TK. Knowledge of both traditional, such as books, whiteboards, and digital technologies, such as computers, software, and internet. For example, imagine a PE teacher wants to teach students how to do proper stretching exercises. Another one is the content knowledge, or the CK. The teachers knows the correct techniques and benefits of each stretch. Another one is the pedagogical knowledge, or the PK. The teachers knows how to demonstrate, guide, and give feedback so students perform stretches safely. Another one is technological knowledge, or the TK. The teacher uses a video app or projector to show students examples of correct stretching techniques. By combining all three about the TPAC, the teachers can use technology to improve teaching, making it easier for students to understand and perform the exercises correctly. Also, TPAC is found at the intersection of the three, representing a deep understanding of how to use the technology to teach specific content in a way that aligns with pedagogical goals and involves pedagogical content, or the PCK, which means that understanding how to best teach specific content, including common misconception. Another one is technological content knowledge, or the TCK. It is understanding how technology changes the way content is assessed or represented. Technological pedagogical knowledge, or the TPK, it is how understanding how technology changes pedagogical approaches such as collaborative online learning. And effective TPAC enables educators to choose technology tools that are appropriate for specific learning goals and to adapt to a new tools as they emerge. It moves beyond simply knowing how to use technology to understanding how to use it in a way that supports and enhances the content-specific instruction.
Now, we're going to proceed to talk about the remaining three models. The first one, we have the SAMR model. It is a framework that helps teachers reflect on and improve their use of technology in the classroom. So instead na mag-focus lang sila sa tool itself, these models emphasizes how technology changes teaching and learning. Also, this model shows a progression. Why? Because from basic technology, nag-transform siya into innovative and transformative learning experiences. We have here Dr. Ruben Pentidura. He is the creator of this model. So SAMR stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. So this model helps teachers evaluate how deeply technology transforms learning. We have two major phases sa Amujanga model. The first one, we have the enhancement. So under one is the substitution and augmentation. And the second one, we have the transformation. So ang iyaman silang under are the modification and redefinition. Here are the four levels of SAMR. The first one, we have the substitution. So it is a technology as a direct tool replacement. So at this level, technology replaces a traditional tool without changing how students learn. So nag-stick man Japon bala kung paano mag-learn ang mga students. So this focuses on the convenience part rather than improvement in learning outcomes. The second one, we have the augmentation. It is a technology with functional improvement. So augmentation still replaces traditional tools, but technology provides added features that makes learning more efficient or effective. So, may nagdugang lang na technology para lang mas maging productive or mas effective ang aton nga pagtuon or ang learning sa students. So, this level begins to enhance learning, allowing students to receive feedback, support, and corrections instantly. For example, students answer an online quiz that automatically checks answers and explains mistakes. The third one, we have the modification. So, significant task redesign. At this level, technology changes how learning activities are structured. So, may changes na. So, kung dati, fixed or ginasunod na ang nakasanayan, dire, gin-change na bala ang structured nga learning. So, tasks are redesigned to promote collaboration, creativity, and active learning. So, students become more engaged and take greater responsibility for learning. So, mas may gana na or mas may mood na ang ating students sa pag-engage sa learning or sa class. So, teachers shift from lecturers to facilitators. So, nag-guide na lang ang teachers sa iya nga mga students. For example, students work in groups to research a topic and co-create a shared digital presentation with peer feedback. The last one, or the level 4, we have the redefinition. Technology enables new learning experiences. So this represents the highest level of technology integration. So technology allows students to do things that could not be done in a traditional classroom. So, gina-allow na ang students na mag-explore sa ilang own learning bala with the help of technology. So, learning becomes more authentic, global, and creative. Students develop 21st century skills such as critical thinking, communication, digital literacy, and problem solving. Now, let's proceed to the next model, which is the Kirkpatrick's 4-level evaluation model. So it is a widely used framework for evaluating the effectiveness of training, instruction, and educational programs. It examines learning impact across 4 progressive levels, from immediate reactions to long-term results. So meron naman kita ka 4 levels, which are itakal ko on the next slides. So we have Donald L. Kirkpatrick. He was an American professor and training evaluation expert. He developed the 4-level evaluation model in 1959 to assess the effectiveness of training programs. So he is the founder or the one who created this model. So his framework emphasizes measuring both immediate feedback and long-term outcomes. So here are the 4 levels in Kirkpatrick's evaluation model. So the level 1, we have the reaction. It is all about learners' immediate response. So this level measures how learners feel about the learning experiences. So here mas gina-focus ang experiences or ang emotions on satisfactions ng learners. So it focuses on satisfaction, engagement, and perceived relevance of the lesson or training. If positive ang reactions ng learners, they are motivated and receptive when it comes sa learning. So, essential gid ni siya for effective learning sa aton niya students. For the level 2 naman, we have the learning. So, it is all about the knowledge, skills, and attitude gain sa aton niya students. So, this level assesses what learners have actually learned, including new knowledge, skills, or changes in attitude. So, ano ba lang ang nag-gain sa aton nga students sa amura nga level. So, it determines whether the instructional objectives were achieved or wala. And for the level 3, we have the behavior. It is the application of learning or pag-apply bala sang ano ang natun-an sang students or sang learner. So, here, sa amura nga level, it examines whether the learners apply what they have learned when they return to our real-world classroom tasks or daily practices. So here, do authentic learning siya kay if gin-apply bala sa aton nga students ang ilya nga natun-an sa real-world settings. So, learning is a meaningful only if the results in change behavior or improve performance. If na-apply bala niya ang iya natun-an nga bago sa iya ginakatubang nga tasks sa sakto or sa tama nga behavior or aspects. And for the level 4, we have the results. Amora ang crucial kay it is all about the overall impact and outcomes sang learners. So in this level, it measures the long-term outcomes of learning on broader goals such as academic performance, behavior, and improvement, and school effectiveness. So here, it is all about the long-term goals. If na-apply bala sang students ang iyang natun-an, kag makita sa outcome or sa results ng iyang performance. It determines whether the learning intervention contributes to meaningful and measurable success. So here, dila ang makita sa results if na-apply bala or gid or na-acquire ng students ang amura nga mga learning behaviors and also ang natun-an. Yes, that's right. And for the last model, we have the CIPP model. So it is an evaluation framework used to guide decision-making in educational programs and projects. So this model focuses more on continuous improvement rather than simply judging success or failure. So CIPP stands for Context, Input, Process, and Product, which represent 4 types of evaluation conducted at different stages of the program. So we have here Daniel L. Staffelbeam. He was an American educational evaluator and theorist. He developed the CIPP model in 1960s. He believed evaluation should support decision-making and continuous improvement, not just judge results. The first one, we have the context evaluation. So, under of it is ang goal. So, it identifies the needs, problems, and opportunities within a learning environment. So, it helps educators determine clear and relevant goals based on learners' needs and institutional priorities. So, sa picture, it is shown that ang section that leads to goal setting, ensuring the program has a clear purpose. The second one, we have the input evaluation. So, yes, na under ay ang plans. So, input evaluation examines the available resources, strategies, and action plans to achieve the goals. So, it supports decision-making by comparing alternatives and selecting the most effective plans. So, sa picture, makita naman na ang component is linked to plans, emphasizing preparation before implementation. The third one, we have the process evaluation. So under of it is ang action. So it monitors how the program is being implemented in real time. So it checks whether the planned activities are carried out properly, if na ano ba lang na-assess or na ano siya, na ilapag sakto, and also it identifies problems that need adjustment. So as you can see sa picture, the actions highlights the importance of implementation and monitoring. And the last one, we have the product evaluation. So under Kajaniya is amo ang outcomes. So it assesses the results and overall effectiveness of the program. So it measures whether the goals were achieved and identifies both intended and unintended outcomes. So under some outcomes, it shows the impact of the program if ano ba lang, like na ano if natabo or implement mayo ang program nga ginplan kang ano ka institution or kang teacher for the learners. And we have core values. So makita natin siya sa center sa aton nga model. So it represents the educational beliefs, ethical standards, and mission guiding the program. So it influences all decisions related to goals, plans, actions, and outcomes. So as you can see sa picture, core values are placed at the center to show their continuous influence on the entire evaluation process. So for the overall, to sum it up, the circular design in the picture shows that the CIPP model is a continuous and interconnected process. Also, each evaluation component informs and improves the next stage. So the model ensures that educational programs remain effective, relevant, and learner-centered. And that would be all for my report. Thank you for listening.